Yeah?
What
If I remember correctly where we left off, we just stopped at like some major Calypso tea.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Big
yeah.
old tea.
Big old
And I was
tea.
upstairs the entire time waiting to get first dibs on everything in the room.
Big old capital T.
Tea.
T.
There was a lot that ended up being unpacked, such as Calypso realizing that her long thought dead fiance may have been more than
Husband.
likely dug, or husband, I'm sorry, may have been dug up from his grave by
Turned into a
her
zombie.
uncle, and could have possibly be used for experiments. You know,
Coulda, probably did. Who knows?
Her
I'm
uncle
actually
knows.
gonna turn y'all up on,
But you know what?
audio.
At least he's dead, so he doesn't feel a goddamn thing.
That was never clarified. That was never
Oh.
clarified.
Oh, I don't know if
110
that
with
helps.
I don't think he's dead, Beck.
Oh, my bad. I mean, I'm sure they were very kind about it.
Yeah, sure they were.
I think this is a good time to bring up sensitivity training.
Oh, not this
Hey,
shit
what's
again.
up, Lion? What's up, Lion? You're here to heal. Nah, that healing stuff's for my campaign.
All right, I'm going down to my notes because we were essentially Gragnar and had already run up to take shit from the guy from the priest who had betrayed you.
Asshole.
However, there was supposed to be a one-on-one with Sam and Vera and a one-on-one with Farron.
And I still feel bad because I took up all the time.
You don't feel bad. It was character-driven, and you handled it beautifully. But Ragnar and Calypso, along with Garum, are heading upstairs to take a look at the gear. He's nowhere near his PC, but he's like, I can hear you.
Yeah, I have my headphones on.
I smell loot.
I smell loot. I was there first. I get first dibs.
We will start off on a lighthearted note with Ragnar arriving at the room first with the what did we name him? Because he had his mouth sewn. We named him after somebody.
I don't remember.
The guy we named him after the guy from Hocus Pocus.
Billy.
Yeah. So Ragnar and Billy are up at the very top, I believe. And Ragnar, you arrive to what appears to be a double-doored room. And Billy he walks up to it and he knocks. And someone says, "Who is it?" And Billy says, "Absolutely nothing." "Ah, Billy! It must be you." And he opens the door. And you see a turtle, a old-looking tortoise man standing at the door. "How can I be of service, Billy?" And he just looks at Billy, and Billy, without saying a single word, just looks at him, looks at you, and looks at this turtle. "Ah! So they have rights to some of the items that were taken. Of course. Come on in, Billy." And he looks at you. "You must be Gragnar. Billy told me so much about you just now."
Interesting. I mean, I've had weirder happen. I'm not gonna lie, I have already forgotten her name. High Priestess lady sent me up here and said we have free reign.
Sister Bella Yolanda. Yes, of course, of course, of course, of course. Come on in. And he kind of waddles to the side. He has this huge shell. He looks like he's a snapping turtle as a turtle.
Interesting.
And when he talks,
an Elden Ring reference?
A what?
An Elden Ring reference?
This is not, but that would be great.
It would.
Because I haven't played Elden Ring yet.
Oh.
But when he speaks, his neck elongates and then shortens as he gets like higher pitch and lower pitch. So he's like, "Hello, everyone. Yes, yes, yes. Come on in." And he just kind of waddles over to a literal pile of shit that they have taken from this man and thrown into the center of the room. It was quite organized before it arrived here, so feel free to dig on through. And are you wanting to dig through it? Take your time.
Yes.
Are you...
Oh yes, please. I will take as
Oh
much
my
time
God.
as I need to.
Okay. Okay, so I will tell you right now, it is thrown together. They basically took his entire shop, turned his tent upside down, threw it in there, and they dragged it.
Yep, that's cool. I will be taking my time. I was told
Okay.
I have free reign of someone else's loot who I was already going to steal from. Oh yes, please.
And he will the tortoise will sit there, and he will literally kind of sit on a stool. He just goes, "Take your time. Literally, my only job is to sit here and look through this stuff myself. I hadn't even gotten the chance yet, so feel free, I guess." No one takes my job as secretary of encumbered items very seriously. And he kind of lets his head sink down into his shell a little bit.
And I say that Serafina or / Calypso, whatever, is starting to head up there as well.
Yeah, you're heading up there, but it'll take you a minute. So,
No
Ragnar,
problem.
you take about 5 minutes to go through. I need you to roll your percentile die and tell me what you get.
Hold on. Wait,
Yes,
percentile?
that's right.
Okay. I thought it was going to be an investigation roll, so I'd be upset.
Are we on roll 20, by the way?
Yes, 20.
Okay. 'Cause I don't know where the fuck my dice are right now.
22.
I was just waiting for the DM to pull up roll 20. I never pull that shit up.
I know, I was like, where's the share screen?
Okay, so we are essentially on the share screen. I'm using just the regular priestess map right now. Because I lost like 6 maps, and I was able to recreate 3. So one of them was a room full of random shit, but
Damn.
that's just not happening. And forgive me, chat, because I will have granola and yogurt and stuff because I haven't eaten all day, and I made my wife some wonderful bowl of frappe, and I made myself some shit too.
The goddamn Grognala.
It's okay. I have garlic bread.
Oh, I'm jealous of that.
Bread.
Oh, that sounds so.
Bread
freaking
makes
good
you
right now.
fat?
No, it makes you strong and big and be
Strong.
able
That's
to
what I
fight
fucking
vampire.
thought. That's what
I'm
I
already,
fucking
I'm
thought.
already thick, so it's fine.
Exactly, and yes.
That's right, guys. We got ourselves a thick Cobalt / Dragon waifu up in here. Like, subscribe.
All of us are thick.
Eat the bread so you can fight bears in forest.
Bear
Yeah,
to the boy.
I logged in here solely for the purpose to get my terrible PhD. That's the only reason I came in here. Okay, minimize
But yes,
that.
you Ragnar, what'd you roll?
22.
22. Okay. So since it's on the low end, what you end up finding is actually like a bag of gold, probably about 250 gold roughly.
He doesn't need
You'll have to
more
count
money.
it. You have to count it later. You also find
Immediately
what
into
looks
the
like
bag of holding. I'm not even counting it.
you also find extra ammunition for Garam's gun.
Into the bag of holding. I'm not gonna say.
And you
anything.
find, on top of that, you find a book that has a bunch of notes about cells and things like that. But it seems like he was like notating odds and ends in it. But on the back, it's a bunch of notes that seem to be notes on Serafina.
I'm just gonna tuck that under my. I'm just gonna tuck that under my arm and keep looking, and I'll hand that to her when she gets in here.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and jump because Serafina is currently on her way up. We're gonna go ahead and jump to Sister Bala Yolanda, along with Sam, Vieira, and Fran, who are still in the room.
Yes.
Actually, Fran had stepped out because he was grossed out by.
I did step out because
Yolanda.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh god, because she was saying some really wrongful things to me, and I didn't appreciate it. I
was
will be
basically
stepping
saying-
back in though, because I had my conversation with Serafina and she left. So.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
As you go to step in, the secretary y'all had seen before. Okay. Now, if you remember as players, essentially the secretary is going to change form. She is, instead of having red hair and and red eyes. She's going to have blonde hair and blue eyes, and you all remember her as such.
She's so pretty.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, she was the one thing, but we don't remember.
She was the goddess, yeah, but none of you guys know that, and with Seraphina being the only person who's been down there, you don't remember it. So this blonde hair, blue-eyed woman steps in front of you, Fran. One moment, Fran. Let them
Sure.
have their one-on-one time.
Oh,
Would
right.
you like to sit? Would you like to sit and have some cookies and maybe some tea?
That sounds lovely. Yes, thank you.
All right, sit down, and she offers you to sit at the secretary desk, right in front. And she goes ahead and she pulls out some warm tea that she apparently had brewed right before, and some like some of those like cookies that go well with tea. And they're really nice and soft, and they have good crunch sound, good crunch
Good, perfectly crisp crunch sounds. Gotcha.
with a nice warm center. These are the type of cookies that make you like sink in your seat, and you're just like, oh shit, man. All right,
I
so
just
you
instantly
are
feel relaxed, and I'm just like, cookies.
yeah. You're back to being like a little kid being offered like snacks, and you're just vibing.
Here,
Sam,
have these snacks while I traumatize these people.
Yep. You'd be surprised how normal that is.
welcome to D&D, folks, where your parents aren't dead, they will be. So Sam, you are currently in the room with Vieira, and Sister Bala Yolanda offers for y'all to sit.
Well, I was already sitting. I was partaking of more of her prime time whiskey.
All right. So you sit and you start drinking. Vieira pulls out her own flask that you didn't know she had, and she offers to pour Sister Bala a drink. And Bala goes, "Yeah, sure." And it's this black, thick kind of looking concoction. For anyone who has been a part of my campaigns, you know that at one point there was a goblin known as Brump who had a recipe for coffee that was alcoholic, semi-poisonous, and would test your constitution because it hit harder than fire brew.
I love Brump. Brump was great.
This is that. You see Vieira pour a shot, and it looks like syrup. And Sister Bala's eyes, Miss Yolanda's eyes open, she sparkles. She's like, "No, you didn't." And she's like, "Brump sends his regards." And she goes, "That lovable little shit." And she goes to knock it back, but she can't drink it. It's a slow pour. And it leaves like a residue on the glass. And you see for the first time Sister Bala go, "Oh, the only thing that gets past the goddess's blessing is pure chaos." And Vieira offers you some, Sam.
So Sam looks a little reluctant at first, and then she looks at her halfway empty glass and she's like, "Ah, fuck it," and then she'll hold it out to Vieira.
Okay, so you have a half-filled glass of whiskey, and you see that this syrup-like substance sinks to the bottom immediately and becomes a bottom layer with your whiskey, your half glass of whiskey on top. She pours you about a shot of it. And you look and you see something happening where in which the whiskey seems to be getting lower and the syrup seems to be getting taller, as if the syrup is absorbing the whiskey.
It's eating it.
It's eating it.
It's eating it.
Are you going to take a drink from it right away?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna knock it. I'm gonna fucking knock it back.
You knock it back, and as you do, because it's such a slow process, it's like if you were to take a shot of whiskey that would just keep pouring for about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Instead of,
Mixed
and we're
with
talking
molasses.
Yeah, mixed with molasses. But this molasses and this fire brew that you're drinking is hitting hard, and so I need you to roll your Constitution check for me.
Ooh. Guess who has a +0 on their Constitution? Hold on. Oh, come on now. I'm using the dice thing on the D&D Beyond app, so just 1 second. Ooh, that is that's not too bad. A 15.
That's good. That's good. So it hits. It hits hard.
Hello,
You
Lunar.
feel like your
Welcome to
chest is
chat.
being knocked out from underneath you, just by it hitting your tongue, and you can smell it's very strong, very potent. It smells like coffee and fingernail polish remover mixed together,
Ooh.
and it tastes like coffee, whiskey, and fingernail polish remover.
Say that just sounds like vodka. Or
Vodka
gin.
tastes
Yeah,
better.
straight up.
Vodka will taste better than this, believe me.
They're having some
Vodka will taste
one-on-one
like God's
character
sending
times.
after this. And it's atrocious, but it hits hard, and you feel yourself swooning a bit. The DC for this drink is 20. But with the blessing of the goddess, you suddenly feel yourself pulled back from it. You feel that intoxication, you feel nausea, and you also feel extremely awake. Add 2 temp HP.
Oh,
Wait,
what the
what?
heck?
What
Add
is
2
that?
temp HP.
Yeah, what was that?
It's like a high-pitched noise just now.
Ah,
From me?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh.
I heard
I
it
didn't
too,
hear anything on
though.
my end.
It was loud. It hurt.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, add 2 temp HP to your character. Brump's Coffee
okay.
is known to be what most would consider the proto version of a potion of stamina. He essentially threw everything in the kitchen, including the sink, into a thing, and was like, "This will keep me alive for a little bit longer as I go and do my work."
He's not kidding
So,
about the sink part either.
no. Brump
There's
actually did
there's
take
an
shavings of
actual
metal.
sink. Yeah.
There's a garbage disposal in this potion.
That is the garbage disposal.
The lotion bottle is the
I
garbage
am the
disposal.
garbage disposal.
Let's do the fork in the garbage disposal.
But as you're all sitting and drinking this, Yolanda pulls out some information and hands it both to Sam and to Vera, 2 different bits of information. Sam, as you look at it, it has the crest and the symbol of your ship on it.
Oh, okay. Am I
And
allowed to open it?
and Sister Yolanda, go for it. This is part of the agreement. And you open
And
it,
she does.
and you find a list of names. None of the names on that list you recognize, but it says crew at the top.
Mm.
There was, and at the bottom, the gentleman you ran into at the bar, his name has been marked off as no longer a member of the crew, even though he was when he came in port. At the top, what was the name of the gentleman who took over the ship?
Oh, I did not write it down.
That
You
one
actually
bitch.
make up a name. I forgot.
I
I forgot what we put it.
So let's leave it up to Beck. Beck, what is the asshole that took over this ship?
I think I had that written down actually. Hang on.
Because I know we made a name last time, but I just can't for the life of me think of it.
Yeah, I don't remember what it is.
I
either.
actually think that I wrote it down because that was part of my backstory. That I was tortured by this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So give
Let
me
me
a
check
second.
my notes really quick, because I know I made some last week. Hold on. Captain Cutler. Ooh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you. I'm also waiting for Beck to see if she has any info as well, because maybe he had a longer name or something added to it.
Okay.
You know, we
Yeah,
have
all
this
I have is
asshole.
Captain
He's got to
Cutler.
have a full family name. You know, like Captain, you know, motherfucker Cutler or something like that. You know.
Yeah.
No, it looks like I didn't write down a name. I just put him down as my commander.
Okay. So Captain K Captain K. Cutler is what we'll call him. Captain K. Cutler is listed at the top, and his job title is lists him as a captain of a ship for the Kingdom United, and a freight ship nonetheless. The shipment that he brought in was a mixture of spices, seasonings, herbs, and things that you could sell at market fairly easily. There's a few things about clothing there, but it seems to be notated as not enough to be on the ship for a full sale. Basically, what's being sold doesn't match as what if the ship was carrying full capacity, meaning that there may be more on this ship. There's notes left and right about the ship, rumors about how the ship has actually defended itself at some cases, where in which like the crew, it's being written down as a ghost ship in some cases with question marks around it, circled and things like that. Then there's commentary about how the captain seems to have an item on him at all times that is magical, but they don't know the origin of it, and it seems to be his sword. Seems to be some sort of magical blade, but he's never pulled it unless out on the sea. There's also notes of the ship being attacked by Kuatoa almost regularly, but the date seems to match after you were thrown off the ship. So at some point they made the Kuatoa angry, and so the ship is almost constantly being attacked. However, they've yet to lose a fight with them. And it lists no less than 6 attacks from Kuatoa in the past 6 months.
Damn. Would I know specifically what that item was?
No,
That he has.
you do not recognize it. There is a sketch of what the handle looks like, and it's this gold and silver handle, which seems to look like maybe platinum and gems are engraved on it. But the butt end of the sword is a skull with a gem in the mouth, like a skull with the mouth open, and a gem in it that looks like an eye.
I would have never seen like a figure like that before.
Roll a history check.
Okay. 1 sec. Uh, 13?
That's enough. You recognize it as a symbol for a long forgotten like ghost ship known as the Mariner's Revenge.
Ah,
Nice. Very similar to your ship in the aspect of the name, but the Mariner's Revenge was a ship that was said to have gone down at a whale attack.
Ha.
And it was said that it was captained by the most despicable of men, someone who passed on all sorts of nasty things to his partners and didn't tell them, someone who went as far as to pillage villages and destroy entire towns that wouldn't pay him tribute. He was not known as a pirate king or anything along those lines, but as a very malicious individual. And no one knows what happened to him when his ship went down, only that his flag was, in fact, a skull with a gem carved into it in the shape of an eye. It's considered a cursed ship, and it's considered bad luck to talk about the Mariner's Revenge out at sea unless you wish to upset the goddess Calypso.
Yikes.
That's not good.
Yeah.
I heard Calypso. What?
Yeah, they're talking about the actual goddess Calypso.
Oh, so me? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I don't know how a goddess is gonna feel knowing that you're taking her name, and it's fine. It's fine.
It's either gonna go really
I'm
good
not
for
gonna
us or
watch that
really bad for us.
storyline.
What, DM?
I say if you think I'm not gonna walk that storyline at some point.
Woof. Do I still have the ability to have a private meeting with our hostess.
Yes. As she hands
Okay.
this out, however, what she does is she looks at as you're in this room with Vera and her, and you look over at Vera because she receives the paperwork as well. Her face is pale. Vieira looks terrified and horrified, and her paper seems to be bloodied. And there seems to be, just from looking over her shoulder, because she's not trying to hide it, there seems to be a note written in blood. And if you skim it right at the bottom, you see the name Damien at the bottom, which you recognize as her spouse, the person she's looking for, the person who was taken protecting the crew. Before you showed up, you had been told that they had been working with someone and that Vieira was looking for Damien to save him.
Wait, so Damien is not Vaughn.
So Vaughn is Damien. Vaughn is his
okay.
family name.
Okay.
He had mentioned that he had a name, Damien, that he no longer carries with him. He merely goes by Vaughn because it carries more weight and power. That was actually something he had mentioned to you guys when he first met you, because he trusted you despite Vieira not trusting you initially.
It's funny how you think a bunch of ADHD idiots can remember names.
That's what notes are for.
Yeah.
I have them written down. Well, not that part. I think I spelled Vaughn's name wrong the first time.
VON is Vaughn, and Damien, his full name is Damien
you
Vaughn.
know how
Wow,
I
I
take
actually
notes
thought you were
as
gonna spell it
Ragnar.
like fancy, like VAHN, like Vaughn. You know?
No,
Vaughn.
no.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I thought it was
Vaughn.
VAHN too.
So with that, she sits quietly, Sam, and as she's reading through this, and she's kind of shuffling through the papers quickly. What do you do? Seeing
I'm
her.
gonna look up at her, like, because I'm kind of watching her out of the corner of my eye, right? Like while she's doing this.
Yeah.
So I'll turn my head to her. I'm like, hey, bad news.
And she sits there silent for a moment. He was able to pass off a note to get to the church. He came through this town a week ago. And he says he thinks they're taking him to Ashengard.
Oh no.
He also says that he bit off his own tongue and they healed him right away, so they don't want him dead. Meaning they want him either for information or to make a message out of his death.
Or do experiments.
She is doing her best not to think about that. She closes her notes and she stands up. You have your time that you need. I will talk about this later.
I'll look at her. Like, does she take the notes with her?
Yes, she takes the notes with her.
Okay.
She puts them under her arm.
Okay. I'll just nod at her, because, like, I wouldn't have any words for her at this point.
All right. So she steps out, and Fran, you do see Vieira step out, and she is very obviously holding back tears. You're sitting there laid back in your chair, and you see Viera just stop, close the door, lean against it, and then fall to her knees in tears.
Fran would immediately get up and run to her side and help her back up to her feet and guide her over to the chair.
You sit her down, and as you look up, you realize that the secretary is nowhere in sight. It is just the two of you there.
So
She is completely broken down.
he's just gonna kneel down in front of her and like comfortingly hold her hands. He's not going to talk, he's not gonna ask questions. He's just going to keep her company. That's all he's going to do. He doesn't want to pry into what could possibly make her go, be this way, since he's fully aware that sometimes the information they get from was it from yeah from her isn't always the best. So he just kind of looks at her, holds her hand, and then like offers her some water or some tea that he had beside him.
You pour her some tea, and you take the time to kind of comfort her. And it takes her some time to wind down. We're going to go ahead and jump back to Ragnar. Or actually,
Hey,
we'll
that's
do
me.
Sam. We'll do Sam real quick. And then we'll jump up to Gragnar and Seraphina arriving to Gragnar, literally being head first in a pile of junk. In fact, the image I want you to think of is a little cobalt tail and butt sticking out like a little dog as he's like face first.
It's like a
in
mole
gear.
digging in the dirt.
That is the image you come to when you arrive.
Oh my god.
But Sam, you, after Viera steps away, you are now in the room with Yolanda, and she rubs her neck a bit. I was really hoping not to have to give her that information.
Understandable. I mean, I knew she probably expected something like this, but to actually see it in black and white and red is another thing entirely.
Yes. What do you do?
I have a favor and a proposition for you, if you have time to hear it.
Always open to a new deal, new transaction.
From what I gather here, from what you've handed to me, the ship hasn't exactly gone under the church's radar, neither has its captain.
No. He files reports every time he comes into port about the situation. He's doing everything above board other than what we think is actually below his boards.
And you and I both know that what he's getting in isn't the only things that he's getting in.
Of course not. Most of the ships come through here with illegal goods. Everything from people to animals to illegal drugs and substances, so on and so forth. We cracked down on it recently because there was some issues with other countries. This country has nothing against, or rather I should say, this city has nothing against certain types of trade, as our goddess allows for all types of trade. The problem is how you treat your merchandise. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes perfect sense. However, when said merchandise is directly undermining the sanctity of the freedom of this country and aiding and abetting the Kingdom United, I would think that that's something entirely different, wouldn't you?
Depending on how much coin is being passed forward and back. You have to understand this is a merchant's town. We act independently of most countries. And we definitely know of certain under the table transactions that happen. After all, we aren't called the rip-off church for nothing.
I can understand that. And I can understand where, especially in a town like this, in a community like this, where morals can be bought. I know mine were.
Oh, don't,
once
darling.
upon a time.
Morals aren't bought. Our morality is coin itself. It's not about being bought or sold. It's about how much coin you have. And that decides whether your morals are just or not.
You are a lot more at ease of tongue than I am, but that's pretty much what I meant to say. But regardless, my proposition to you is that you know as well as I the atrocities committed by this captain. Not only to me, but to several. Countless at this point. And damage done far too heinously to be ever forgiven or erased. My proposition to you, if the church would allow it, if you specifically would allow it, to aid me in taking back my ship. In exchange for such assistance, I would offer my services as the captain of this vessel to be the church's privateer, if you will.
Well, in reality, we're not short on any privateers. But what we do need from time to time
Oh, hey,
is a
Julian.
bounty hunter.
This would be session.
Someone who can sail off to private islands or places of your own
I'd
regard
say it's like session 8
and bring back what was taken.
But
Would that be optional?
we started this on Twitch and then
I
I
think
moved
I
it
can
onto
handle
YouTube.
that.
So
now, mind you, I don't have much
this
of a
isn't caught
crew
up
behind me.
on the full story. If
But
you want the
given
full story, you
I'll
should
have
definitely
my
check out
ship
the DM.
back, and with the pool that I have in this community, once I'm out of hiding, I can get a reputable crew within a matter of moments.
Seems well enough.
We're
I
all
must
currently
ask,
level
however,
6.
do you know why the Kuato are attacking this ship so often, even leaving their own private waters to do so?
We've been doing a lot of side quests, so
That might have something to do with me. When I was very suddenly thrown off of this ship, beforehand, the Kruatoa and the Mer people were very friendly towards I and the crew. As a matter of fact, they helped us with the majority of our merchantry and our trade from below waters, helping us with fishing and other gems and other goods that we would otherwise not have access to. But with the partaking of this new captain, the atrocities committed to them afterwards, and to me and some of the crew that they had, at that point become very close with, for them, I imagine, is quite an affront to their nature.
I suppose. Well,
that's the only thing that I can guess, unless he's hoarding something on there that is theirs.
I have him linked
very
under
possible.
the video description.
Well,
you should be able to go to his YouTube link
anything
and he'll
else
be
you
able
have
to
in
go
regards
there.
information?
Let me see if I can link it to you. Give me 1 second.
That would be all that I know personally. It's been ages since I've been even on that vessel. I do have one more request, though.
Go for it.
If we succeed, I do ask permission that I get my current party where they need to go.
Here we go.
I don't want to leave them just, on a whim. I want to at least see them to their end.
So you wish to go with them?
If you click on that link, it'll take you to our DM's YouTube channel.
And
He's currently live streaming this as well.
Ashengar,
and he has all the
and
details.
then you would come back here and get help to get the ship back. even knowing it's right there in front of you.
If it's permittable by the church. I understand, we have our own agendas. I have my own agenda, and if I'm being quite frank, I'm going to choose my ship over anything. But the tiniest conscience that I've developed being off of the seas has
no
weakened
problem.
me.
You've gone soft for them. And she smiles a bit.
Oh. And I'm just gonna take like some more of her whiskey.
Thanks, Mom.
We'll do what we can to keep track of the ship. We've been holding it in port for a few extra days, and we plan to hold it here for another week. Obviously, you'll be gone by then, and you won't be back in within that time frame, I'm sure. But we will keep tabs on the ship, and we will make sure that when you return to from Ashengard, that we will make sure that you know exactly where that ship is and have the means to try and get it back. If for no other reason, because you have such a big heart for them. And she smiles with that one eye patch, and she just looks at you and takes the bottle that she had of whiskey and just finishes it herself. Slamming it on the table. A deal is a deal. This one, however, will stay between you and me. Understood?
Of course.
Seeing as it is a problem to be documented.
Fair enough.
But I'm going to go ahead and close the church for the day. I'm going to close the church for the day and relax. Maybe I'll go to the coast and sunbathe. I don't know. You, however, might want to get to your friend. And you can hear, you could hear up until about a minute or so ago, Viera like weeping from the other side of the door.
One last thing that I do want to ask you before I leave you, and before you take your rightful leave and go relax. I know you've helped us more than we probably deserve.
Yes.
Do you have, for lack of a better word, any advice on how we should proceed in helping Vaughn?
Ashengard has been the Kingdom United's lapdog for nearly 40 years now. Longer, it's been in their pocket. The current king of Ashengard is a despicable scientist at best, and at worst, the closest thing to a demon you'll come near. I've talked with him and myself, and he completely believes everything he's doing is for the betterment of himself, not the kingdom. And I find that narcissistic men like that will do anything, absolutely anything, to keep themselves in power. Even make deals with devils and kings with no intent of paying them back.
So, in summary, either we end him or this doesn't end.
Exactly.
Understood. I appreciate you and thank you for your time.
It is no problem. You have a wonderful day.
And then Sam is just gonna kind of swagger off a little bit, because she also finds her kind of hot. And then she's just gonna join the party.
Okay, so you walk outside and you see Viera sitting with Fran as she's sitting there with puffy eyes, red, tea in her hand, still warm, and the three of you begin to kind of get up. Viera stands and grabs her notes and things which had kind of fallen on the floor, and begins to walk towards one of the young ladies that seem to be working the church, and she offers to take you up
Oh
to that
yes,
room.
the Kingdom United
Now,
is
Seraphina,
a ruthless,
you
ruthless place.
open the door, arriving yourself with this little girl leading you.
Was it the same one that was like, "Oh, that's so cool! You're pirates!"
Yeah.
They're a
Leads you up
nation
the
who believes
stairs and
that
knocks on the
human and
door,
humanoid
and
creatures
you hear,
are
"Come on
superior.
in."
Magic is completely outlawed
And
unless you
the little girl
are
throws open the door and
part of
runs towards the
like their
portal.
direct government.
Again, he looks like a snapping portal.
They
He's like, "Oh, little
freely trade
Veronica, how are
slaves. They
you
make
doing?"
deals
And she's like, "I'm
actually with
doing great.
devils.
I got to
If I
talk to a
remember
hot
correctly, some
pirate."
of them have
Or
made
at least
deals with
that's what she
Osmodeus
says she is. She says
or
she's a hot
Osmodius.
pirate. So, like, does that mean that she's a
Yeah,
hot
they're not
pirate?
good.
Or is that what the
They are
priestess call
fucking
conceited?
brutal.
She's gonna turn over to Gragnar.
And you see the turtle. He's talking with the child and keeping pace, keeping absolute pace. His neck is going up and down really quickly as he's talking because it's high pitch, low pitch, high pitch, and the kid is just yapping, and it's just constant background noise. You walk over and you see Gragnar's butt sticking up a bit as he's like head first in some of this stuff, digging around. He's not in the pile, but he's leaned over going through it. Gragnar, I'm gonna assume you're so into digging through this shit you didn't even realize she entered the room.
Yeah, nah, fully. I was given full reign of over loot. Yeah, nah.
You find anything interesting yet?
Oh, I found this book.
What's that?
It
grabs it.
If you look at it really fast on the front cover, it's a bunch of boring math shit, and then there's shit about you on the back for some reason.
About me? Okay. And she kind of looks through.
I like how it's not a
You
concerning bring up. It's more of a, yeah, there's shit about you on here. Here you go.
Yeah.
It seems important, but not important enough for me to flip through it. So I'm gonna give it to you.
There are 3 dates. There's the date that you entered town, the date that you saw the retired priest, and then the date that they were going to go to pick you up from the bar. It all has notes about your habits, where you were possibly staying, which are inaccurate. He assumed you were staying someplace out in the boonies near the docks because that's where you were headed. He didn't realize you were staying at the bottom underneath one of the diners. And it also has information on your uncle saying that he will happily take me back once I turn her over. It'll be a chance for me to be reinstated. I no longer have to live out here with nothing. I can go back to being a priest and being somebody of importance.
That's crazy.
And fuck this guy.
Now he's dead. Wow. I wonder how that happened.
Can I cast detect magic on the book?
You can. And detect magic is an area effect. The book is not magical.
Okay.
But you
like
do
anything
see
in the pile, yeah.
You do
like
see
feet.
about 10 feet from Gragnar, there seems to be a slight bluish glow. Most magic glows different colors, depending on the type of magic it is. And you've never seen a bluish glowing magic. Most magic you've seen is either a white or a yellow. And so you can walk over and investigate by going digging through. And you find a bracelet. And when you cast detect magic, it tells you certain information, such as the type of magic that's imbued into this item.
Mm.
And what seems to be
What's
imbued
wrong,
into
Ash?
this is
Am I playing with your
conjuration.
toes?
Ooh.
Cat's sitting on my
home.
lap. She's kicking me.
Okay, so a conjuration bracelet.
Yeah.
Okay.
It actually has that encryption on the bracelet. It just says summon a hoe.
Can I see anything else on the bracelet?
It seems to be you've never come across items like this, so I'm gonna say you need to roll a investigation check as you're looking through it.
Okay.
See if you recognize it for what it is.
15.
What's the matter?
15. Give me just a second. So, why is my stuff acting up?
What?
Sorry, give me...
What are you squeaking at me for?
I'm trying to see, because I just got pinged by something, sorry. And I'm trying to see what it was. But, essentially, with a 15, you're able to go ahead and see that this is, in fact...
Stop.
It's elven made. You've never seen anything elven made before, considering your city.
Oh my god.
And it has what looks like beautiful branches that come across it. And as you look at it, you realize it's a very intricate, thin bracelet. Think of like those gold thin bracelets that like you see people wearing all the time. But this has like 3 gems on the top, 2 green and 1 blue. And as you hold it, you take some time. Do you have the identify spell?
Stop.
No, I don't.
I almost took that spell.
I thought I did, but I don't.
Okay.
I almost
So
took it,
you
and I said,
you can
nah.
tell that this is a magical item that does conjuration magic, but you're not sure as to why or how. And it has again 2 green gems and 1 blue gem in the center, and it's very thin, very beautiful and elegant. There's a couple other magical items that you're detecting in the area. If you want, you can take the time to search through those.
Yes, please.
All right, so we're gonna say that it takes you about 10 minutes to search through all that, and another 5 minutes to gather them. And as you begin pulling these magical items to the side, the rest of the party arrives at the door and enters. The young girl who led you up, Sam and Fran and Vieira, looks to be almost like a match for match older
You work
version
for
of the redhead
Asmodeus. Oh.
talking to the turtle.
Interesting.
And she goes, "That's where you went." And the little girl's head like almost like snaps 180. "You'll never take me alive!" And she jumps off and runs down the steps.
What?
And she's like, "Get your ass back here. We need to brush that hair. You haven't brushed your hair in 3 days. You stupid, stupid little piece of shit." And just runs off after her kid sister. The turtle sits there going, "It'd be a lot easier to comb her hair if you just talked with her rather than arguing." And the sister just glares at him, and he's sitting there, and his head just slowly enters his shell. And he's just like, never mind.
He's got a point.
Yeah, and as you say that, he looks at you, and there is an odd amount of fear you feel, despite the fact this being a normal human girl. And she dashes after her sister, who has now completely abandoned most of her like the little sister's nunnery clothes she was given. She's now in her underneath wear like regular clothes, and her hair is like.
Oh, I thought you were saying she just stripped and just started.
He took out, because you know how like nunnery clothes can be worn over regular clothes. She basically drops that, and you see like a path of clothing, and her giggling maniacally as she runs down the stairs. But you all, the 3 of you, Fran, Sam, and Vieira, see Ragnar like face first. Again, his butt is right at the wall. You see the little X represent his butthole.
Oh my god.
As he's like digging through shit. And then you see Seraphina grabbing a few items and laying them out on the floor. Now, Seraphina, all in all, you found 4 other items that were considered magical.
Okay.
One seems to be a dagger, but it has some sort of healing magic, but you're like, it's a dagger, that's very odd. The other is a book that the book doesn't seem magical, but it seems to be latch closed. There seems to be something inside the book that's magical.
Okay.
Then there is a small a small golden box with almost like a piggy bank slit on the top. And then there is a cloak that you found that seemed to be magical. Those are the items. Do you have that written down?
I do now, yes.
Okay. And let me go ahead and just update something real quick.
You said the small gold box had what on it?
It's a small gold box that when you look at it, seems to have a slit for putting coins in, but it's only like 2 or 3 inches big.
Okay. And then a magical cloak.
Yep. So you have the cloak, a
You sent to
small
prison for
golden box,
allegedly murdering
closed
70
book,
people. You make
and then a
deals
dagger.
where you can
And then
to
you
escape.
have the
I mean,
bracelet.
with Asmodeus though, to escape a prison, I felt like you
Alright.
could have.
So I'm gonna
I
go
mean, to
through them
each
so that
their
you know
own.
what
He
type
is
of
a
magic
very
it is that it
powerful
has. So the
demon
dagger
lord,
has healing
so
magic.
that's fair.
Okay.
What
The
was your
closed
alignment?
book
Well, I mean, what was your
has
alignment
what
before
appears to
that?
be conjuration in it as well. The small golden box is odd. It seems to have a couple different types of magic all mixed together, and you can't quite make it out with your current casting of detect magic.
Okay.
And then the cloak seems to have, you can roughly understand it as conjuration as well. When you touch the cloak, it looks super plain. It's kind of a gray, like this kind of drab gray, but it feels like silk. So as the whole party is together, what are y'all doing? Y'all walk in to see Gragnar and Calypso in here going ahead and looking at things.
I still had things to discuss, but we left, so.
Okay. You could go down and catch them. You could still catch them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because my plan was to send Sam up with everybody else
Okay.
while I stayed behind.
Oh.
Okay. Then we'll say that you sent Sam up with Viera and you stayed down to go into the room afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I wanted to ask Fran if he knew what these were.
I mean, you can later.
Yeah. Literally, you can later. And Fran runs down the stairs like.
See ya.
Cartoon legs spinning like. You get down there. Do you just go into the room?
I knock. I'm not a monster.
You knock and you hear Yolanda's voice. Come on in.
Hi. He just kind of enters.
You enter, and as you do, you see that Sister Yolanda has taken off her nunnery cap, and she has this gray hair pulled back into a bun, and she's also taken off the white robe she wore, and she seems to have like a sleeveless shirt on. Marks and scratches across her body, cuts and wounds that have long since healed. Her knuckles in particular are callous. She was wearing like gloves, considering her role, but when she takes them off, she has large callous hands, and as well as just a very muscular physique. She's the definition of like the 250 to 300 pound like muscular woman who's like in her 60s or 70s.
Gotcha. So anyway, he's gonna go ahead and walk up to her and just kind of the clothes that she has on the table, he's going to like pick them up and put them over his arm and start hanging them up on like a nearby like coat rack.
Yeah, there's a coat rack in this room. You open the closet knowing exactly where it is, and you hang it up for her on the right hand side, knowing that's her used clothes. You even go as far as to reach on the left hand side and pull out what looks like a button up shirt that she likes to wear in her spare time and hand it over. She rolls up her sleeves. She partially buttons her shirt up, probably about halfway, and she cracks her neck and looks at you. Her eye patch has even been swapped out for a white eye patch that she wears when she's not at work. It has the crest of her goddess on it still. You would think that this is what she would wear at work, but she prefers to wear the crest in her spare time.
So he would have taken the tea that he was given earlier. He's gonna bring the pot and then a cup, and he's just gonna pour her a cup and then sit beside her. And then he's gonna like put his elbows on the table and then smile and lean in and be like, "So, about that book that you handed me without context, can I get a little more context on that?"
A sends his regards, told you to go ahead and write notes. The last 5 pages, when you write it, he sees it and he'll reply instantly. If you do
Awesome.
not send him a message within the next 2 days, he told me to kick your ass until you do. At least say hello.
Oh god. Okay, I'll just send him a message right now, and he's gonna pull out like a quill and just immediately write, "Hi." Period.
And immediately there's a response. Immediately, hey! I'm just like, Haay.
Oh god.
Hi.
This guy.
Miss you, buddy. Hope all is good. Did you find your predecessor? Hope he's not dead. He's kind of one of the few people who drinks with me.
Look, we're working on it. Just leave me alone for a second, okay? I have things to discuss, and then I'm gonna close the book.
And you see him go like, you see a writing start like, oh, okay, but, and then you close the book. And I'm gonna give y'all an image of just like this old man who's probably about 55 years old sitting there. He's like, oh.
Left on red, literally.
Yeah, left on red, exactly. Like, haven't seen him in like 6 months. And he closes his book, and you guys don't know his face or anything, but he closes his book, he sets it down, and then he opens it again, and he just kind of sits down and looks at it like he's got nothing better to do but wait for a reply.
Aww.
So how did the talks go? I saw that some of them didn't really leave with good information.
Are you going to pay me for that information?
No, of course not. I'm just asking how it went.
Shitty.
Mm.
A woman's husband is probably not dead, instead being mutated and mutilated. The other woman's husband is most definitely being mutilated.
Yikes.
And it's all due to shit that you are only partially aware of.
Partially, huh? So,
Well, you
United
are
Kingdom
only in
stuff.
training. You're only in training for your position. You haven't reached it yet.
I understand that, but...
And I genuinely will continue to state that you do not need that position.
Why? Why don't I need that position? I've worked hard for it.
There are things that position requires of you that would mean giving up everything you are. It is why your predecessor wished for you to choose a different path, but respected you enough to give you the option.
I understand that, but unless he makes himself known again, as of right
Which is
now...
hard to do when he's being tortured. In Ashengard, that's for free. They handed him off to her uncle.
Interesting. In Ashengard, you said?
Yes. He might even be roommates with Vaughn.
Oh.
Which would be hilarious considering their history.
Considering. Okay, well... I could assist them in getting them out. That wouldn't be so much of a problem.
No. Especially when it would do you some good to get friends that aren't backstabbing lunatics and religious zealots.
They're not all backstabbing lunatics or religious zealots.
Really?
I said
Who are your kings again? Oh, right. Gods.
Yes, they are gods. And what of it?
Well, I've never known a god to need the pacification of an entire people.
Look, it's part of my lineage. It's what I was grown and known to do. I just do what I'm told.
And that's the fucking problem. You're too damn smart to just do what you're told.
I know. That's why I'm going for the position that I am. I can help more people in that position.
Could you?
I feel I could, yes.
How many people have that position that you know of?
One.
Okay. And how well off is he mentally, physically, or emotionally?
Honestly, I wouldn't have a clue. He doesn't talk to me much.
Exactly. As someone who does know, not good at all. You are told to decide who lives and die. You are told to decide who is worthy of life itself. You're told to keep people separate based on looks and traditions long since dead because 5 crones who just woke up and die told you to.
What do you expect me to do then? I can't just disobey.
That's what he did.
And look where he ended up.
Smiling despite his disposition.
I myself cannot go against the entire United Kingdom, and you know that.
And what happens when your new friends need you? Are you going to abandon them?
I've only just met them.
And yet, you fit right in.
Well, that's my job, to fit right in.
I haven't seen you genuinely laugh at someone since you were 10, and you couldn't help but have a grin across your face while messing with Garum.
Okay, well, that's just funny, because the man is easily perturbed.
Yes, and you are not so easily entertained. You like them. I'll mess with you about it all day. I'll tell it to you like you were some high schooler who's in love. You like them. And she
And
leans
when they
in.
find out who I am and what I do, they won't like me very much anyway.
They'll hate you for all of 2 seconds, kick you in the nuts, and then drag you along for their friendly ride of overthrow a fucking kingdom.
Oh, please. That's not how this works, and you know it.
I work in information and trade. If you think I can't read people, then you're dumber than you look. Also,
I thought I was
get the
smart.
hell out, because I've got to change my underwear, and unless you want to see this old badge.
He gets up and he's like, all right, okay, listen. I will see what I can do, but I still have a job to do. So long as I hold that power in my hands, what little power I do have, I can at least get them farther than they would on their own. Correct?
Correct. But what happens when the deal has been cast and you are called to pay up?
Then that is up to them. They'd have to earn my trust first.
Says the man who didn't say who he was from day one.
I said exactly who I was. I never lied to them.
A lie of
It's a
admission.
matter.
Whatever. How many times have I said? And she's like this motherly tongue. Lie of admission is still a lie.
They never asked the correct questions. I gave them the correct answers.
I will have words, Fran.
You go up to your friends, enjoy your sleepover.
Oh my god,
your
I'm sorry.
Dad when you're done.
I'm sorry, hang on. Chat just fucking... They said, how can you be good at reading people with one eye?
Oh my god!
Oh shit. Anyway, go on.
Chat, I'm gonna say this right now. She's the type of woman who would strangle you one-handed and get away with it. Some of y'all might like that. Some of you might not.
Look. Once they've earned it, I will consider assisting them. But as of right now, I do have a duty to my kings and my kingdom.
Duty.
How is it that I raised you in this church and you end up worshiping somebody else's dumb shit?
Because my parents are the ones who actually told me where to go and when to do it, so you can blame them, unfortunately. If you have
Well, I'll
words with
say
them, bring it up to my father. He's the one who's pushing for this fucking thing.
I have no love for your father despite making love to him whenever he likes,
Oh
so
my
fuck
god.
off.
You really have to rub that in every time. I really don't like hearing your sexcapades. I really don't.
Well then, stop making it so easy to get under your skin about it. If you stopped caring, maybe then I wouldn't use that as an excuse to get
It's
you out
kind
of
of
my
hard
room.
not to care. Jeez. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna go. And I'm just gonna rejoin the party. And be whatever I'm supposed to be.
Be yourself, dumbass.
Sure. Whatever that may be.
God, you would be so handsome if you weren't an absolute fucking edgelord as you walk out and shut the
Edgelord?
door.
I'm not edgy. Oh. I'm not
Look at
edgy.
me, I don't know who I am as you shut the door.
I'm not. How dare you? I'll have you know, I know exactly who I am. Ma'am.
Really? Then why are all these questions about, oh, I'll be exactly who I need to be, and
It's my job. You know what? We're not talking about this. Goodbye. I'm leaving the conversation. I'm being the bigger man now. And he's gonna leave.
You shut the door and you lock eyes with the secretary who's standing there with, like, holding more tea, like,
Hey.
so you're done with the tea.
Yes. Thank you. It was delicious.
Have a good day.
You too.
They're
Yep.
upstairs.
Yeah, I'm on. Thanks. And he's just gonna like awkwardly walk around here and go upstairs.
Like he's not an edgelord, but then immediately puts like his earbuds with his MP3 player. It's like, haven't you people ever heard of?
Oh my god.
You understand me.
I'm emotionally vulnerable and I don't like it.
What the fuck? Where are you getting this information? That is not factual and you know it.
I've had enough of this. I'm going to Hot Topic.
Oh my god.
You walk out knowing that Yolanda is basically fucking with you, but also being very honest with you as well. From her perspective, she just wants you, you know, from the conversations you've had, that she's out of touch with you. She hasn't seen you in probably about 5 or 6 years. And
Since he's joined the party?
No, Sister Yolanda hasn't seen Fran in 5 or 6 years.
Yep.
Yeah, since he's like fuck, how do I word this? Like whenever we saw her is when he first saw her in 5 or 6 years.
Yes.
Yes.
Holy shit, okay.
Yes.
and the whole thing is that she's just very motherly, and she likes to like poke at him as well and try to get him to open up, just like a mom would. Why don't you go play with the other kids? You know,
No,
that kind of...
I don't want it. Dad said I have to take over the family company someday, so I gotta go do that.
Yeah,
you're 10 years old. And so it is very much a motherly, like, in a way it's motherly, but also she's disconnected from him in the aspect of she knows this is not her child. So it's a battle for her of, do I try to be a mom to him even though that's not who I am and not what I do? Or do I just call him on his shit and try to like get him to be open with people?
The answer is yes.
So with that, you head upstairs, and Fran, you open the door to the scene of everyone standing there looking at the items that Seraphina has found. Gragnar, are you still digging through shit?
Absolutely.
I don't think he ever stopped.
I was gonna say.
Gragnar, you're muted.
You're muted, brother.
Ragnar?
Ragnar!
I was talking this whole time.
Oh my god.
I was like, no, I did not stop. I've been in there the entire time until I find something cool.
I quote, you walk into a room, you see the little X on his butt as his head is in shit. He looks up real quick and he looks like
have on pants. Thank you very much.
They're pants with like chaps. They're not even pants, they're chaps.
That's true, you are
So
wearing
your
chaps.
tail can get through it.
Because the whole point was you had a tail.
Yeah.
So your butthole's sticking out, man.
Oh my god.
And that foot-long schlong.
Oh my god.
I mean, we had a whole like 20 minutes.
We did roll for it, yeah.
Talking about that shit.
He was very well endowed for a kobold.
So Brent just kind of walks in. He's like, "Huh, y'all having a whole looting party over here, huh?"
Something like that. I'm trying to find something cool in here. Seraphina found a couple of things.
Yes.
Would you be able to help me identify the magic that these items have and what they do and stuff and things?
You want me to identify?
Yes.
Sure.
I just know basically what they are, but I don't know what they do.
Oh, I see. You want me to use the spell identify?
Sure.
Yeah, I can do that for you.
Ron's like, I'm gonna be a little shit because they were a little shit to me earlier. You know,
okay, so I look at the object and I just kind of take it from Seraphina because I have to touch it. So,
which item do you take first?
What did you
have? A bracelet, a dagger, a locked book that has something inside, a small gold box, and a magical cloak.
I will do the gold box first.
Okay.
So you pick up the gold box and you cast Identify. It is a name pops into your head: coin collection box.
Coin collection box?
And the item essentially stores gold that can be used for spells. And what it is essentially it is a piggy bank that if a spell requires gold or money, currency of some sort, it pulls from what's in it versus you having to have money constantly on you.
Ooh.
And you register that there's probably about 100 to about 120 pieces of gold in this already. But if you keep filling it up, money goes in, it doesn't come out. But it essentially allows for you to prep for when you're going to cast a high tier spell.
I relay all that information to Seraphina.
Yeah, I wrote it down as I was hearing.
Yeah, it's basically a magic piggy bank used to cast spells.
Well, you have a minute of this spell to wear off, so just hand me whatever you want next.
And I hand you everything else. The bracelet, the dagger, the box.
Overloaded. Oh, shit.
It's a small alarm that goes off in your head.
Also, chat said that Ragnar has a tail on both ends, so it's hard to tell which way he's facing sometimes.
Oh my god.
Bastards.
So, yes, I'll hand her all the items back and say, one at a time. I can't give you accurate information if I'm holding multiple magical objects.
And then I kind of hand the healing magic dagger at him.
Okay, and I'll pick up the dagger.
So, 3 things happen when you grab the dagger. You get the name of it, and it's known as it is known as a healing dagger, which sounds like an oxymoron to you. There is also just a bit of static, as if like this item is how do I put it? Almost fighting you back on you reading it.
I think you're gonna need somebody a little bit stronger than me, or a stronger spell to identify this one. It's not exactly giving me all the details, but it is a dagger that can heal, which is odd. So maybe shove it into a person here or there and see if it works. And he hands it to her.
Stab myself. No.
As you go to hand it off, you do get the feeling that there is essentially a regular healing and then a boosted healing effect.
Okay. I relay that to Seraphina before handing it off.
Yeah.
So regular healing
And a boosted healing.
and boosted.
All right.
I'll take the cloak next.
Okay.
This is a stealth cloak. It adds a +2 to any stealth rolls.
So you have a cloak of invisibility here.
It's not an
But
invisibility.
invisibility is close.
It
So,
might
yeah.
as well be a
Stealth.
cloak of invisibility.
It gives you a +2 to your stealth rolls, and it's actually more like a you know your Hobbit headpiece you have back where it only goes to your shoulders.
Yeah.
That's essentially what it is.
Oh, it's more like a cowl.
Yeah, it's like a cowl that you can wear, and it gives you a +2 to your stealth rolls.
Can't see.
I hand that one
Okay,
back, and
see?
then the last one is the book. So
The
I'll
book
take
and the bracelet.
Okay. Well, no, let me do the bracelet first. I'll do the book last.
Okay.
So when you look at the bracelet, you realize that it has 3 charges. It's known as the hidden dagger, and what it does is it can conjure up to 3 daggers per long rest to be thrown that disperse once they hit an item.
So it's a lot like Cloud of Daggers.
Yes, but it's 3 of them, and what it is, you have to throw them. So you do a ranged spell attack. If it hits, it deals 1d6 plus your dex. Oh, I'm
Okay,
sorry,
hold on.
plus
So
your wisdom.
So
Okay, hold on. So it's 3 charges per long rest.
Yeah.
Long rest. And then it does what again? I'm sorry.
It throws 3 daggers in a direction that you choose.
Okay.
And then how much damage? It does like dagger damage, right? So a d4?
Yeah.
D6.
Yeah, a d6, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It does a d6 per dagger. And then what it is think of it as a dagger version of magic missile, but it doesn't auto hit. So you roll 1d6, add your wisdom modifier to it, and that is the damage for each of those 3.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
So you roll
finally
one-
is the book.
So when you hold the book, you realize that the book itself is not magical, that there is an item inside. Because you're getting like feedback, so you have to open the book.
Oh, so I open it up?
It is locked.
I was gonna say, isn't it locked?
Yeah, it's locked. It's almost like a diary.
Oh. Well, did you find the key?
I'm gonna go dig through the key. Dig for the key.
At that time, Gragnar and Calypso, go ahead and roll investigation to try to find the key.
Fuck.
I got a 20, not nat.
I'm at
Ooh.
a disadvantage. Wait. Yeah, it's ability checks. Ability checks? Would this be an ability check?
Yeah.
Okay, double checking.
Why is my stuff not updating? I hear myself being pinged.
I don't know. Oh, well, I'm rolling on roll 20, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. That most definitely could be it.
What is
That's it. I feel dumb.
That
was
is
like, I
a
don't know where my dice are.
whopping. That's a whopping 8.
Okay. So Gragnar, you find a key, but it is very obviously like a plastic key, like something you would sell to kids for fun. Like it's a wood carved key. And you're like, okay, it's just a key carved from like a piece of wood. Seraphina,
literally
you find
flick across the room.
Yeah, you find a small metal key that seems like it would be a diary book key.
This one.
All right, and he takes the key and he tries it on it. Yeah,
and
man.
It goes in,
Oh my god.
I was like,
Man-Man's
man.
in
I'm like, oh, don't open it! It's a trap. 3 beholders are inside the book. No,
Jesus.
Oh god.
Inside the book?
just boop. Hello there.
My man's chin has muscles. Yeah, it does. That's my background.
As you open it, you see what looks like a small deck of cards.
Oh no. No, put it back.
Oh.
Put it back.
What?
Put it back.
He closes
Put it back.
it.
Put it back.
He closes it and then looks at
Absolutely
Seraphina.
not.
I'm keeping this one.
Wait, is it what I think it is?
You
I
cannot
want no
have this.
part
This
of
is
it.
too powerful for you.
Yeah,
In character,
you need
I
to
don't know what
touch
it
it.
is.
You need to touch it to tell what it is first.
I touch it.
You touch it. It is a deck of traps.
Oh, I thought it was the other one. I was like, no, you did not just give us
So,
I
that.
fucking
it's
hate
a
the other
deck
one so
that
much.
whoever pulls a card from it can essentially will either have a trap sprout on them or on an enemy, depending on whether it is a high or low card.
So he's gonna close it, lock it back up, and keep the key. And then look at Seraphina. You don't need this.
What is it?
It's a deck of traps. If you draw a card, you can either spring a trap on an enemy or on yourself. Those traps are unpredictable, and most of the time, they can be fatal. So it's best that you don't play with this one. So I will hold on to
Why
this
do
for
I
you.
feel like that would be a good good thing for Gragnar?
I
want that
don't
shit.
think so.
Ragnar's like, nah, mate, I'm good.
I don't want that shit. I have
and
enough,
I'm going
I have
to
enough
put the
bullshit
book.
going on.
I'm going to put the book in my satchel and just kind of keep it.
So
Did I find
whenever
anything else
someone
in the
pulls
pile?
from it, I will roll.
Oh.
And I will tell you what happens when it's pulled.
It's
Hold
a
on,
good
I'm
thing
gonna
it wasn't
copy
the
and
deck of
paste.
many things, otherwise we'd be fucked.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
copy
what I
and
thought it was.
the
I was like, oh
descriptions.
no.
Yeah, I'm not putting the deck of many things in my game because
Oh, same. Same.
that literally can rewrite the entire point of
Oh
the
yeah,
story.
no.
So I was like, you
fully.
can just give us that.
Thank you, Seraphina.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you get the wish spell. What do? I wish that all the bad guys were dead. Oh well.
Well, we're the bad guys.
Fran's like, please define bad guy. Please define.
Please.
Is it your perception?
Wasn't
Is it
dead.
actually our intent? What's
Kill
going on?
everyone from the United Kingdom. Oh no.
Kingdom United, not United Kingdom.
Oh yeah, the
Jesus.
king. My bad. They sound the same, Aaron. They sound the same.
All right, let's
Damn.
see.
All right, and with that,
Did I find anything else cool?
you roll another investigation because we got to wrap up soon.
Lid. I'm stuck at these. Let's go.
I can't believe that you just about killed not only the Queen, but Ed Sheeran.
12.
Ragnar,
12?
you find a single half a piece of platinum.
Half.
Yeah, like a broken coin.
Rose, you know damn well
Put
the
it in
queen
my
is
pocket.
immune to all death spells.
Oh my god.
That woman's
is
gonna
a
live
death
forever.
For Princess Diana.
Oh!
I'm literally putting that shit in my pocket. This is Greg we're talking about.
You put half a piece of platinum in your pocket, and then you find Ragnar, you find what looks like it almost looks like a short sword that was like made for for halflings and dwarves, so it fits better for your hands. So you find basically a regular short sword.
Seraphina.
Wait, is it Sting? Can we call it Sting?
Do not call it
Yes.
Sting. Don't do it. That's not Sting. You know it. I'll fight.
Yes.
Oh, can I have that bracelet?
You already took the deck.
Yes, for your own safety. I don't plan on using it.
I don't believe you.
Shouldn't we just
Why
leave
not?
it here then?
I don't believe you.
Why not? What have I done to make you not trust me? I've taken you here. I've helped you.
Calypso, you
Yes.
have no reason as a player to doubt your metagaming, and I'm calling on that right now. You have no reason whatsoever to doubt Fran.
You don't know my intentions. You don't
In
know how
fact,
far
you
I'll
were
go.
getting along just fine. You, Ragnar, and Fran were getting along just fine.
Correct. Except
Oh,
Sam.
I like
Sam.
Fran.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I like Fran. Fran enables the fuck out of Ragnar.
This is
Sam
facts.
was the only person who without like bringing
Well,
meta in
he hit on
was
her
like,
right away, so.
Yeah, he hit on her right away, and Sam was the only one who was like, he's kind of fishy because
Sussy.
he's trying to get in everybody's good gracious. And then like Garam was like, I don't like you because you hit on my fucking like kid. Fuck you. You, however, have gotten along with him just fine up to this point.
Yeah, he's gonna teach you magic.
And removed the black spot
Yep,
for
yep.
you.
Well, that
And
was
if I
a
do
thing
recall,
that
you
happened.
called him sexy
You did.
at one point in time.
That
At
stays in the back of
time.
my mind palace. I'll have you know.
Oh my god.
He's like that sorceress. Looking like definitely a smash and not a pass.
Oh my god.
Everyone in this party looks like a smash. Aaron, what are you talking about? Have you seen the third leg on Gragnar? Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh my
Fuck
god. It doesn't help that
He
for
is
a
a
long
full-grown
time
adult. He can make his own
See,
decisions.
The thing that makes it worse is for a long ass
I
time
hope
he was just
decides to fuck me.
My thing that killed me about that whole thing is there was like 3 sessions where Ragnar was just walking around butt ass naked.
Yep. He was dragging. He was dragging.
When he gets tired, all he needs to do is like lean, and it's like a little doorstop.
Like a little kickstand.
There's a reason that the red dragon chose him. There's a bit of family resemblance, if you get my
Oh
drift.
my.
God.
Yeah, actually, from personal experience, you do resemble the.
Oh my god.
Dog be like, this is my boy.
You're nasty.
Yeah, I'm nasty.
I will give you the bracelet if you can take me somewhere that will identify this dagger.
Yes, absolutely. I know
And
a few people.
The turtle kind of sits there and goes, his head finally comes up. He's like, oh, I can do that.
See?
What? Why didn't you say that earlier?
He was
Well,
in
you
a
said you wanted
shell.
your friend to do it.
You said you didn't ask me.
She hands Ron the bracelet and starts walking over to the turtle.
Thank you, and he just puts it on.
And he holds out his his hands. All right, I'll take a look at it.
And then she hands him the dagger thing.
And he sits there and he goes, identify. Identify level 2. Identify level 3. There we go. We got some stats up in here. Who the fuck puts a like legit? There's a spell on it to stop identify. What the fuck? Rude ass.
Huh.
If lost, please return to wizard. He didn't even say which wizard. This is wizard. Let's see. A dagger of healing. In case your friend is like down and out, you can stab them.
Do it.
And it will heal 3d6.
God.
Or you can burn a charge because it's 1 charge to do the 3d6 with 3 charges per long rest. And it's like he's reading the dagger as he's holding it like a book. Or you can burn 2 charges and try to beat a wisdom DC of 13 to heal for half health. The DC will increase if you fail. Well, that's kind of... It temporarily increases to 15 until a long rest. Does it
Hmm.
have
Wait,
any
so that
fucking speed?
means question. So that means if you fucking fail doing like the burn one, does that mean you just stab them?
No. No. When stabbing someone, it does a regular D4, like a regular dagger.
So you have the option of healing them when they're down, or stabbing the fuck out of them and
Okay.
killing them farther.
Yeah, that's the
No,
thing I'm
no, no,
getting at.
no,
Is
no.
if you
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me clarify. Let me read from the beginning
Oh
again.
no, it's perfect.
If a
It's perfectly clear. You just stab a friend and make them feel better.
I mean, yes, apparently.
All right, that's all I need to know. And Fran's gonna leave.
Yeah, but
If you fail, it only heals to 3d6.
I'm not listening.
Oh, okay. See, I thought it was gonna be like you fail and you just kind of stab them and they're already dying. And
Yeah,
now they've been stabbed.
so like if they go on their ass because they pissed off a lich or something.
You know what? That's a good question. Do we have to attune to this?
Let's see. Yes, it does take attunement.
Ah. Good.
Is it cursed?
Not as far as I can tell.
Well, you did have to do like 3 identification things on it, so maybe it's hidden somewhere, but I don't know.
I got one more spell slot. You really want me to burn it on level 5, identify?
You could take it.
Yes.
Identify, level 5. Oh, look. There's flavor text. Fuck you, you wasted a spell slot. God fucking damn it!
I think I know the wizard who wrote this.
Oh, that's funny as shit. God damn it.
If they end up on their ass, you
It
can
is-
stab them and heal them from 3d6. If you want to try to get them to half health, if that's more than 3d6, burn 2 charges instead of the 1 to heal. If you fail, it automatically heals and you lose the 2 charges. So you have 3 charges. Get out of here.
Question: while you're doing that identify last slot, spell slot, does it happen to be signed Love Featherbeard?
No.
Oh, maybe it's another relative of his. Never mind then. I don't know who wrote
It
this.
says Feather Stash.
Oh. Nice.
Oh, Zara's now fucking.
Anyway.
Oh no, it says to Feather Stash from Featherbeard.
Oh.
All right.
Okay. Well. Okay.
Okay, so I edited the dagger description. Is that correct?
That's Dissonant Whisper. Hold on, I gotta go to the actual page y'all are on.
Well, I'm on the campaign.
It's on the campaign
Yeah.
posts. Yeah, I think you got it right. It looks everything
Where?
looks right.
In the voice
And
chat.
in the voice
Oh,
chat.
the voice chat. Okay,
Yeah.
for camp. My bad. Oh, let's see.
DM's blind.
Healing Dagger, 3 charges to heal fallen allies. 1 charge heals 3d6. 2 charges roll against a Wisdom DC of 13 for half health. On a fail, does 3d6, but still burns 2 charges. DC save increases per fail. Yes.
All right,
Okay.
DM, we gotta pop off. It's getting late.
Yep. So that is the end of this session. Next session, y'all will be essentially getting ready to go into the basement.
Into the basement.
And
that
fight
will-
some rats. Yay!
Yeah, rats. Totally
sure.
just rats.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
fighting
right.
rats,
We had
yeah.
a goddess quest.